The movie kicks off with Columbus narrating the situation in the US, which is no longer the United States of America, but has become the United States of Zombieland. Columbus has crafted a set of survival rules, starting with cardio, because, as he points out, the first ones to go in the apocalypse were the out of shape. But staying fit isn't enough, you also need to know how to handle a gun, leading to his second rule. Double tap, meaning always make sure to shoot a zombie twice, just to be safe. The third rule? Beware of bathrooms. You definitely don't want to be caught with your pants down. He also adds seatbelts to the list, to avoid ending up like a poor woman he saw. The fifth and the most important rule is, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow it. Columbus developed these rules based on hard-earned lessons from his own experiences and watching others' mistakes. The story shifts to 2 months after the apocalypse began, with Columbus believing he's the last survivor in a world overrun by zombies. He explains that he's always been a loner, and in a weird twist of fate, it's his solitude that's kept him alive. His survival, he insists, comes from strictly following his own rules. In one scene, as he approaches a bathroom, a zombie suddenly attacks, proving he's right about his rules. While fleeing, Columbus jumps into a car, fastens his seatbelt, and manages to escape, until he realizes there's a zombie in the back seat. He crashes into a wall, launching the zombie through the windshield. But it's not over yet. The zombie comes at him again through the broken window, so Columbus uses his gun and follows rule number 2, double tap, to finish it off for good. The next day, Columbus keeps moving, sticking to rule number 7, travel light. He's headed back to his hometown, hoping his parents are still alive. While on the highway, he spots a car and hides. He meets a man, and after both confirm they're not infected, they lower their guns. Eventually, Columbus asks for a ride. The man refuses to share his real name to avoid getting attached, so they nickname each other after their destinations, Columbus and Tallahassee. Columbus then emphasizes another rule. Always check the back seats. On their journey, Columbus notices Tallahassee's obsession with Twinkies. They stop at a Hostess truck, but Tallahassee is furious when it's filled with snowballs instead of Twinkies. During a bathroom break, Columbus opens up and shares his fear of clowns, which is even worse than his fear of zombies. He also reflects on the moment he lost hope in the outside world. He recalls a night when his neighbor, 406, frantically knocked on his door, saying someone tried to bite her. Exhausted and afraid, she fell asleep on his shoulder, only for Columbus to wake up and find her turned into a zombie. As 406 attacks, Columbus begs her to stop and tries to shut the door. She breaks her foot but forces her way in. Columbus runs, but when she attacks again, he's left with no choice. He hits her in the head and kills her, marking his first encounter with a zombie. The movie shifts back to Columbus and Tallahassee. Columbus mentions a rumor about a zombie-free safe zone back east, but Tallahassee brushes it off as a myth. On the road, they spot a zombie eating someone. Columbus is disgusted, while Tallahassee jokes about feeling hungry. Without hesitation, Tallahassee hits the zombie with his car door. They stop at a grocery store to search for Twinkies. Tallahassee claims there's a box waiting for him, maybe the last one in the universe. Inside, he plays a guitar to lure out zombies. One appears, and Tallahassee kills it without mercy. A second one follows Columbus, but Tallahassee saves him and takes down another zombie too. Soon, they meet a girl named Wichita, who asks for help. She leads them to her younger sister, Little Rock, claiming she's been bitten by a zombie. Wichita struggles with the idea of killing her sister, but Columbus refuses, as Little Rock is still alive. Little Rock plays along, saying they've already said their goodbyes. When Columbus hesitates to shoot, Tallahassee takes the gun and is confused when Wichita insists on doing it herself. But as soon as Tallahassee hands her the gun, she turns it on them, revealing they've been tricked. The clever sisters outsmart Columbus and Tallahassee, taking their weapons and car keys before driving off to Pacific Playland, a rumored zombie-free zone where Wichita promises Little Rock a safer life. Left stranded, Columbus and Tallahassee search for a new car, swapping stories about the worst zombie kills they've seen. Their luck changes when they find a yellow car. Tallahassee, thrilled, removes the hands from the steering wheel and finds a stash of weapons in the trunk, celebrating with shots in the air. Though Tallahassee is eager for revenge, Columbus convinces him to let it go and keep moving. On the road, Tallahassee opens up about his beloved puppy, Buck, whom he loved a lot. He claims he was a home for him, but the zombies took it from him. He tells Columbus to not dwell on the past and instead enjoy the little things. which Columbus adopts as a new rule. Later, they spot the car the girls stole. Tallahassee leaves, asking Columbus to wait for his signal. He checks it out and finds it empty, but when he returns, he realizes Little Rock has taken them hostage again, ordering Columbus to honk while holding Tallahassee's gun. Wichita hops into the driver's seat, and Columbus reveals that the sisters have been con artists from the start. He flashes back to when Wichita tricked a man at a gas station by pretending she lost a ring and promised a $3,000 reward. Little Rock later pretended to find it, and the man paid her $400 for it. The sisters reunited, having pulled off another scam. Despite everything, Columbus feels a bit happy, still crushing on Wichita. Soon after, Tallahassee steals back their car. When Wichita pulls out her gun, Columbus pleads with everyone to calm down and act like sensible Americans. They finally lower their weapons. Little Rock tells Columbus they're heading to Pacific Playland, a rumored zombie-free zone. When Columbus asks about his hometown, Wichita casually mentions that Columbus, the city, burned down. Sad at the loss of his family, Wichita offers to help him find a ride. Later, Wichita stops the car, urging Columbus to leave and find his family. Though confused, he chooses to stay with them. At Tallahassee's request, they stop by a store. Tallahassee rings a bell to attract zombies, and when one shows up, he blows its head off. Inside, Tallahassee catches Columbus putting on some cologne, realizing he has a crush on Wichita. In a playful moment, Tallahassee jokingly punches Columbus, accidentally breaking some vases. Instead of making him feel bad, Tallahassee encourages Columbus to smash more. What starts as a small act of destruction turns into a full-blown fun frenzy. Everyone joins in, throwing things and breaking stuff just to blow off steam. The chaos brings them closer, and they actually enjoy the wild moment together, completely wrecking the shop. As they continue their journey, they laugh and bond, realizing they're starting to enjoy each other's company. They arrive in Hollywood, and Columbus excitedly rushes out to grab a map. They decide to visit a famous actor's home, which turns out to be Bill Murray's mansion. Amazed by the house, Columbus and Little Rock find a movie theater inside and settle down to watch Ghostbusters, while Tallahassee and Wichita explore the place. Suddenly, Bill Murray appears, but Wichita, thinking he's a zombie, hits him. It turns out Murray is alive, using zombie makeup as a disguise to stay safe. Tallahassee, a huge fan, is thrilled to meet him. They decide to prank Columbus, and Murray sneaks up to scare him. But before Murray can reveal it's a joke, Columbus panics and shoots him, thinking he's a real zombie. It's too late to save him, and Murray admits he wasn't great at practical jokes before he dies. Saddened, the group takes his body to the roof, tosses it off, and fires shots into the air in a salute to him. Later, they sit down to play Monopoly and share stories about surviving in a world overrun by zombies. When asked about the hardest part of the apocalypse, Tallahassee opens up about Buck, saying he lost his mind when he was born. Buck had Tallahassee's personality, smile, and even his appetite. As he talks, Columbus suddenly realizes that Buck isn't Tallahassee's dog, he was his son. Tallahassee pulls out a picture of his boy and breaks down in tears, and everyone feels the weight of his grief. Later, while practicing his aim, Tallahassee invites Little Rock to join him. She takes a shot but misses the target. With a fatherly tone, he tells her to hold her breath and gently press the trigger. She tries again and is shocked when she actually hits the target. Meanwhile, Wichita persuades Columbus to have a drink, leading to a quiet moment together. Just as they're about to kiss, Tallahassee swoops in to interrupt. The next morning, Columbus wakes up to find the sisters leaving again. Little Rock remembers their sisterly rule: trust no one. After some time, the girls finally make it to Pacific Playland. Columbus feels crushed by their departure, and Tallahassee tries to console him, but it's no use. Columbus had dreams of marrying Wichita. Back at the amusement park, Wichita turns on the electricity, lighting up the rides and making Little Rock's eyes widen with wonder. But the lights and sounds attract nearby zombies. Unaware of the danger, the sisters enjoy the rides and their time together. Meanwhile, Columbus is determined to find Wichita. He tries to make a cool exit on his bike but ends up crashing. Tallahassee, impressed by his effort, offers him a ride, agreeing to help him track down Wichita. Back at the amusement park, the sisters suddenly find themselves battling zombies. The undead swarm around the sisters, forcing them to scramble toward their car. As they try to start it, zombies clamber all over, even climbing onto the roof. In a moment of panic, they leap from the car, sending it crashing into the water. They sprint away and hop onto the double-shot ride to escape being bitten. As the ride climbs higher, they feel a brief sense of calm, but the fear hits hard as it plunges back down. Wichita urges Little Rock to shoot the power button, but she struggles. Remembering Tallahassee's advice, she finally hits the button, bringing the ride to a halt. They breathe a sigh of relief, but the danger is far from over. Just then, Columbus and Tallahassee arrive at the park, and Tallahassee realizes the girls really need their help. They jump into action, shooting zombies and crushing them under their tires. The sisters spot them and realize they need to apologize. Columbus watches the submerged car, feeling sad, until he hears Wichita scream. Tallahassee shouts for Columbus to save his girl. Tallahassee creates a distraction, drawing the zombies away from the sisters. But as some zombies start climbing the ride, Wichita shoots a few down before running out of ammo. Columbus dashes into a haunted house, followed by a zombie he quickly dispatches. He takes down another one too, gaining confidence. Meanwhile, Tallahassee locks himself in a toy shop, places the loaded magazines behind and kills the zombies in style. As Columbus fights his way to the girls, he encounters a clown zombie, which makes his skin crawl. But despite his fear of clowns, he decides to break rule number 17. Don't be a hero. For Wichita. He grabs a hammer and smashes the clown's head, then pulls the emergency button to lower the ride, saving the sisters. As the ride descends, Wichita and Columbus share their first kiss, and Tallahassee watches with a proud smile, happy that Columbus finally got the girl. Afterward, Columbus finds Tallahassee, and hears some commotion coming from the Twinkies shop. Curious, he checks it out and discovers Tallahassee in a frenzy over some false advertising. Suddenly, they hear a noise, and when Columbus opens the blinds, he accidentally fires his gun, hitting a pack of Twinkies. Just as he realizes he's in trouble, they rush out, hearing the sound of their car. Outside, they spot the sisters getting ready to leave, but they stop to let them in. Columbus feels a wave of emotion wash over him as he looks at the girls and Tallahassee. They're the closest thing he has to family now. Little Rock hands a Twinkie to Tallahassee, who savors every last bit of that creamy treat. The girls welcome them into the car, and as the group drives off together, they take out another zombie on their way. And just like that, the adventure wraps up, leaving them with hope and a newfound bond.